that allows us to be competitive as a country. Thank you. I'm really sorry I do have to leave, but thank you very much for inviting me.
Wow, please, a round of applause for her.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure and honor to present this award to Yemi Adamoleko in recognition and appreciation for your efforts towards good governance and national building. And I'm sure we've all had a great time here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, for making the time to come. It's been a pleasure.
People don't even know that you have to stay and protect your vote. That knowledge is not there. What they just know is, oh, just go and vote and go before they kill me, let me run home. But they don't know that, oh, if I actually stay and protect my vote, then I have a better chance at living a better life in the future. That's just knowledge. So I don't think it's about, we are putting people in power that are, a reflection of us. I think it's just impact yourself with knowledge. And I think that's one of the reasons I really like what Bookhub is doing here in terms of educating people. And knowledge is, is diverse. If you don't have this information to be able to make decisions, there's no magic about it. There's nothing you can do. So eventually you will just keep, again, if you know the right candidates, and again, election is a process. You don't know that, oh, you're to protect your vote, or you don't know that you're to select at the party level, just similar to what Mr. Francis and Madam Yemi was saying, in that it even starts from the party, it even starts from joining. A lot of people don't know, but by the time you come to forums like this, you engage and you understand that, it's not just about voting. It's about, being in a party. It's about, listening and forming ideologies. And I think, again, that point, sorry, I'm just going to wrap everything up because I have so many points. But I think what I wanted to raise again is the idea of this third force that we're speaking about. If we, I don't know, I've heard there are so many Snares fans here, but I'm sure you would have read FF's recent publication on the role of the third force. And I think the point he was trying to make is you really don't have to win an election to win if you have an ideology backing you. So if you know what you want, what really matters is about showing and sharing. I think that has to do with the vision. I should speak about sharing what you want. Eventually, whoever gets into power can even steal your ideas, can steal your vision. And at that point, you're already winning because what you want to happen in the economy is essentially what eventually happens. But when we have people that are not competent or don't even know how to run things, eventually, we are just going to find ourselves, in that cycle, in that loop of, oh, this leader is not, enacting great policies, or this politician, or this legislator is not moving us forward. But essentially, we have to start with knowledge. What exactly do we want? And how do we go about it? I think that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So actually, I was waiting for you to answer the question he asked about accountability. Nobody has addressed that.
Oh, true.
Okay, so in, I guess, 1 minute each, accountability.
Yes.
How do we at least have something in the meantime?
So how do we set the
No, the questions he asked was that how do we make our leaders accountable? Do you understand? So we've heard this person swallowed this, that person swallowed, this snake swallowed, that rat swallowed. How do we as citizens, do you understand? And truth be told, nothing really, publicly.
Yes. What's the consequence for those things? That's what
No.
Okay.
How do we as citizens, all these people, do we all march to Aso Rock now and say, Buhari, calm down? Do you understand?
Yes.
So how do we do that?
So as a country, Nigeria, we have not gotten to that level where we hold our leaders accountable. The best that we do right now is to track them on Twitter and all that stuff, which is also very good, it's actually effective. They act like they don't see it, they see it. That's why they are taking away your Twitter one time, because they see it. There was so much pressure on them at the time.
Begins by defining things, and I think the way I look at accountability is how do we ensure that XYZ or this action or this money has been, how did you spend it, how did you come about this action, how did we make this policy? And I'm going to use an example from this book on fighting corruption that our previous finance minister wrote. And in that book, she gave an example of how some monies were missing from government coffers, and they actually wanted to account for that money. So in that there were reports, there were sessions with lawmakers, with the people involved. I think it had to do with oil subsidy. And on several occasions, that panel to probe how the money was spent was thwarted. Now that's one form of accountability, how is this money being spent, or how can we make better policies. But the truth of the matter is, if nobody even knows, or if there was no information out there in that, okay, this amount of money has been missing, then there's no even way to start the process of accountability. And that's why when we see organizations put in place, for example, budgets, for example, EIE, for example, STAIRS, putting out information out there that these are the points that we need to, start taking account of, start taking note of. That way we are able to, even though we are not in the process of electing, and I think that's one point, way of participating in governance as well. Asking, okay, what has happened with this policy that you put in place? Let's even start from, our state assemblies. There are lawmakers there that make laws that change or promote the progress of that state. Recently, we were talking of how, the Kogi State Court has taken a certain businessman to court based on XYZ that's happening. I think what you need to do is, ask those kind of questions, even from the grassroots. But the only way you can ask those questions is if you empower yourself with the information and with the knowledge to know what are we even accounting for in the first place. That way, by the time you have that information, then we can go forward as a country.
All right. So I will just add something to it. I particularly do a lot in grassroots, like my sister said. And I believe the only way for you to be accountable, aside from, of course, the virtual support that Twitter and Facebook gives us, is if you start with your grassroots. So many of us here, you probably don't know who is representing you in your constituency. Do you understand? That is how, you might not see Buhari, but you can go to that person's house. You can organize guys in your street and say, we are coming to you. We want to come and know what you've done with so money. That's how it will start. Do you understand? Some of these panelists have said something, and one major fact that I've pulled out is that if we take this discussion as just virtual discussion, Twitter, Facebook, it will just remain so. Do you understand? We need to be more active. That's a very good way to do it, but get involved. Do you understand? Start with who you know. Start with your constituency. There's somebody representing you, even in your street. There's somebody representing that street, so you can start there. Do you understand? So thank you very much. I think this has been an awesome session, and I would like to dissolve the panel session.
Please a round of applause for this panel. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Adeshola. Thank you, Daniel. It has been an amazing session. Clap for it. Did you not enjoy the panel? Together under this weather, we are gathered in Gagada, a brother the water. Yes, but it's not together under this weather. We have brought a proper poet to come and give the performance. It's someone I met years ago, about 20 years ago, and I promise you he's great at it. Interestingly, we were together yesterday night over there at the British Council enjoying poetry, and I promise you he has charged his creative juices and is ready for you. So please, if your hands are not too busy, welcome on stage the poet Clem, doctor by day, poet on weekends, I guess.
Many of you enjoy poetry. Okay, not enough hands, so I think I'll need to introduce what poetry is to you guys. So you see, poetry is the accumulation of emotions. Poetry is words in motion, moving to engage, arrange and disarrange, those things in disarray. See, poetry is the language. So let's sit down and let's discuss. So who speaks poetry? Come and let us converse. Because I'm versatile and so my range of words is so diverse. See, my verse in pictures that are pure with lines that are perverse, so that you can reverse the alterations in my alliterations, disassemble the semblance in my sibilance, and resound my resonance to the reasonable reason. Don't smile. Don't smile at my similes that you can assimilate, because like smileys, they don't exactly express, they excessively exaggerate. And words alone are inadequate without the added motions and emotions that captivate. And the delivery is meant to obliterate every form of distraction that the creativity. This is what is left of what is right. What is left of what is right? This is a question that we should be able to answer without a quarrel or a fight. if we can tell our left from our right, just that what is left seems all right until it is carefully scrutinized under the blinds, but we have shut the blind, so we have no sight to see what is left or what is right. Is it our leaders that do not care? God they do not fear. All they want is to get their own share of the national budget, strip us bare without regrets. Their minds bent on living nothing right. There's nothing left except squander down corridors of power, swallow rotten ivory towers. They promised us megawatts of power, but you tell me when last your light lasts up to an hour. It's shameful and so sad that they drive around in armored cars while the state of our roads remain bad. I mean, what is left of what is right? Still talking about roads, they say different roads lead to the markets. Markets, you're right. But there's only one way left to some offices, some orifice offered by some unofficial offering to some Oga at the top. And from Oga at the top down to Moishe coming up at the bottom. It's the same word that describes the system, corrupt. Corrupt uniform men that need reformed minds, they match left, right, bus stops where they stop us to extort us. The same men that are meant to protect us. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice in one place. But in 2 years, our lecturers go on strike thrice. What about we doctors? We have lost count because our hospitals are not hospitable. The same things we've been using since 1962. The only things new are the caskets. Poor people, they vote for the government and pay their taxes. It's good healthcare too much to ask. Is the government not up to the tax? And this thing, they blow my mind. They cost my brain because I see it happen every now and again. I see a horrible death with so much pain. I see tire, petrol, plank, and chain. I see scores of people being killed by mindless jungle justice league, and everyone is just in league because their murderers don't even send. If these people are innocent, I mean, what happened to the peace we had? Because now we are left, right in the middle of some mindless jihad. And I need your attention, please. We are no longer at ease. One end of our country is lighting up like rolled up cannabis, and we are still looking for the girls in Sambis.
Thank you very much, guys. It has been an utmost pleasure to serve you and host this event. Let's keep the conversation going and let's keep being active participants in driving good governance in our society and in our country. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, everyone.
Hi, my name is Joseph Adiasho, popularly known as the Joseph Adiasho. I'm a brand strategist and social entrepreneur. Today, I shared the panel session in Bookhub's event where we talked about the fundamental questions that we as citizens should be asking our next leaders. And it was an eye-opening session for everybody because everybody was able to pour their hearts. And then, of course, we were able to ask those fundamental questions we believe are pivotal to choosing our next leaders and even future leaders. So the event was amazing, and there were a whole lot of people, panelists, speakers, and even the audience that were having real-ended ideas for us to pick fundamental questions from. And we asked them, we were able to crush them out, and we were also able to entertain ourselves while doing it. So it was an amazing experience altogether, and I look forward to them having something like this in the near future. Thank you, Bookhub. It was a nice initiative, and I look forward to it becoming more and more successful.
Okay, so today's discussion was mainly about empowering intellectual conversations around how, government and governance, needs to be run. And I think for people that are not here, what I will share is to keep educating themselves because it's a way to empower them to have knowledge that can ask the kind of questions that can move the needle in terms of good governance in Nigeria.
Hi, my name is Bukumi Familoye. I am the founder of Bookhub. Bookhub is a community of young Africans that are raising young leaders, and we hope to see an Africa led by intellectual and quality leaders. So today we had conversations. This is our political team month. So we had conversations around politics. The theme or the topic for this conversation was fundamental questions for Nigeria's next leaders. The aim of the conversation or this conversation was to drive young people to actually know what questions are we supposed to ask our next leaders. So we say vote wisely. What does voting wisely actually mean? Like really driving conversations around. We had conversations around from different panelists, right? We had Yemi Adamoleku, we had Daniel Otabo, we had Adesola Afolabi from Steers. They drove conversation on on questions we should ask our leaders, what we should look out for in leaders. So one of the favorite quotes of this section is that we must not only be onlookers in good governance, we must be co-creators, because good governance shaping most of our future. So for every youth out there, I'm going to call on you, I'm going to beacon on you to actually be participants in government, right? Beyond 2023, maybe there's still a lot more we can do for 2023, but even after politics, how do we engage our leaders? How do we engage in policy making? So everybody must come into that awakeness.
Hi, my name is Obianuju Ndedigwe, the committee head for the Fundamental Questions for Nigeria's Next Leaders event, and I'm excited that this event is finally done and dusted. And I say thank you to Proactive Nigerians and to our panelists who showed up for the event today. It was a packed session, starting from the book review with Francis Adebayo, So You Hate Politics. It was insightful, and right now a lot of young persons know what to do if they want to get into politics, how to take actions, and also hold their leaders accountable. Now it begins with us asking the right questions and then following those up with taking the right action. So I believe that this event today has been impactful, and I know that so many Nigerians are taking home a lot of things, and because we all want Nigeria to be a better place, and that was the goal for hosting this event. And I'm glad we've had this. With all of the tweets that people made today, it was just exciting. I'm so glad we've had it. Thank you all for joining us. Those who joined live, online, and those who attended physically, thank you so much. For me here, it's bye. Hi, my name is Obianuju Ndedigwe. Keep watching iVogue TV.
Yeah, my name is Bookhub, and I'm giving a shout out to iVogue TV. Thank you for coming on such a short notice.